What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Now, if you guys can see right behind me here, the Mustang's in a few pieces already, and that's because I already got it ready for today's modification. Now, what I'm going to be doing in the car today, a lot of you guys might not be too crazy about taking this same method for your car, especially with today's market and what they have to offer for doing this sort of modification, but it's cheap, it's easy, and I wanted to knock out a video for you guys, so let's go ahead and get into it. Now real quick, as you guys can see, the Sonoma is back, and as you know, in the last video it went to a mechanic shop, and I'm not going to give you guys an update on that in this video because that ain't what this video is about. If you want to know what's really going down with that truck, you're just going to have to stay tuned for the next video. But like I was saying, as you guys can see here, I got the Mustang torn apart and I pulled all the lights out of it, front and back, because we're going to be putting some nightshade on them today, guys. I was going to do the tint method, but it's a little bit more expensive than the nightshade. And because here in the near future, I'm hoping to buy some aftermarket, like some Raxium headlights, Raxium taillights, I don't want to be spending the money to actually tint them. So we're just going to do this little cheap mod real quick and make it look a lot better for the time being. But like I said, guys, it's already torn apart. So I'm going to take you in the garage and show you guys what I got going on in here. So right here, as you can see, all my parts are set up on these little workbenches that I got. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some soapy water or whatever kind of cleaner you want to use. Just get all the dust and dirt off of all of them. And like right here, I got some new fog lights for the car. That's going to be something in the next video that you guys are going to see. The next video on the Mustang anyways is I got something a little bit cool for the car. Make it look a little bit more factory than aftermarket. But like I was saying, I'm going to get all these lights cleaned off because they're pretty dirty. And then I'm going to mask off these reverse light spots, just like I did on the last car that I had, the last white 3-valve I had a few years back. I masked these off because it makes them a lot brighter at nighttime when you're putting your car in reverse, especially when you have tinted windows and you don't want to be rolling the window down just to see where you're going in reverse. I'm probably going to put like 4 coats of nightshade on this time. I think on my last 3-valve that I had, the white one, a lot of you guys probably seen that car too. But I think on that car I put like 3 coats on. And it looked really good, but I wanted it to be just a little bit darker, especially on the headlights. So I think this time I'm going to go with 4, maybe 5 coats. Then after that, we'll take some 1000 grit sandpaper, wet sand it on nice and smooth, and then buff it out to a nice shiny finish. And then we can get the car back together. So when you're getting these things all cleaned up, you're going to want to make sure that you clean every bit of dirt off of them, not just the lenses. Because any kind of dirt that you have left over around the edges can get blown up with your nightshade spray paint. And then it'll end up making your paint job at the end a lot rougher. And regardless of how good of a job you do here, you're probably gonna have to wet sand at the end. But the cleaner your product is beforehand, the better odds are that you won't have to spend near as much time wet sanding. So make sure everything's cleaned really, really well before you get going what you're doing. Make sure these over here are nice and cleaned up. All right, I switched my water bottle out to just regular water. And I made sure it was pretty warm water so it'll dry up a lot faster. That way this process will go a lot faster. We'll wipe them off twice just to be sure that that soap's all gone. There we go. Yeah, really gotta do a really good job on this step, guys. It's super important to get all of that soap residue off of there. All right, that's looking pretty good. Well, I got the reverse lights wrapped up or taped up, but this taping that stuff off is pretty time consuming, guys. It takes a little bit of time, but it's worth it. Just gotta have a little patience, and everything. Patience pays off in the end. That's the big deal. That's the key. You gotta remember, patience pays off in the end. It's taking some time, but it's worth it. I'm gonna get these taped off, and we'll start shooting that nightshade. Okay, so all my other lights are ready to be nightshaded, but I just gotta get these wet sanded. That way they're looking good enough to nightshade as well. Because, yeah, like, already it just looks way better than that one. Hopefully we can get it looking right. Shouldn't take too much. I don't think it's got a very thick layer of clear coat on it, so we'll go grab a rag and wipe it clean and see what it looks like. rinse it off real good. Let's see how that looks. Well, maybe not in the sun, so it's not blinding you guys and me, but looks like if I get around the edges there, it'll all look really well. Yeah, I think that'll work good. I mean, that's really what we want to do, is get it back to the original lens with no clear coat on there at all, because I don't know if the nightshade acts like clear coat over clear coat, to where it just clears it back up and doesn't keep it all cloudy and scratchy looking like that. But I think it looks to me like maybe I'm gonna have to stick with what clear coat's on there and hope that the nightshade clears it out once it sprays over. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Alright guys, so I think I'm gonna call that good and just nightshade these things the way they are. They're looking pretty clear, about as clear as I'm probably gonna get them. So it's time to rock and roll. I'll get them cleaned up and we'll start shooting some nightshade. Alright, it's time to start shooting some nightshade. Just shake it up really well. Lay it down nice and smooth. We don't want to overspray because, like we said, we don't want to lay this down in some nice, even, light coats. That's why we're gonna do like 4 or 5, because you want them to be really light. Otherwise, it just runs on you. It won't look good in the end. So make sure they're really light coats. Spray it just to make sure my nozzle's spraying good. See, just really light coats. Trust me, it'll build up at the end. It'll look like a really dark color once you've got like 4 or 5 coats on it. Just like that. Just a nice, steady, quick pass across there. Let it cure out and come back and do the next one. Uh-oh, got a hair in there. Let's get that out of there before we screw everything up. Okay, we're gonna let that set up for a few. Let's see, what's it say? I forgot. I've used this before, but I forgot. Let's see, shake vigorously, 1 full cigarettes. Apply 1 light coat or just enough to change the lenses. Not exceed more than 3, but I think we just have to let it dry for a few minutes and we'll come back. We'll probably give it like 10 and then I'll come back and hit it again. But this can's pretty much empty, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw it away and get a new can. That way we don't risk getting any splatter. Okay, so things aren't really looking too good for the fog lights. So I'm gonna put another coat on anyway and see what happens. There's 2 coats. All right guys, so while my nightshade's curing out there waiting for another coat, I got something to ask you guys that know anything about these Mustangs. These 3 valves. I'm gonna get up underneath here. I've been trying to figure this out ever since I got the car, but I'm gonna bounce this up and down. I want you guys to listen and see what that sound is. Hopefully some of you guys can comment and let me know what's going on. I think it's a blown strut, but I wanna know what you guys think. I'm gonna try to hold the camera steady and shake the car at the same time. You guys hear that? I don't know what it is, but like I said, I think it might be a blown strut. If you guys have any idea what it really could be, let me know in the comments below, because it's annoying. It's when I go over bumps and stuff, it just sounds like the suspension's annihilated on this thing. All right, so we got 5 coats on everything at this point, and now that I'm done and letting them cure out before I can wet sand them, I'm gonna put them out here in the sunlight so they cure out faster. That way we can hopefully get them all wet sanded and clear coated and back on the car all in one day. That'd be really awesome. I think that's what I did last time I did it on the white 3 valve that I had on the channel, and I'm hoping that that's what I can do today. So I'm gonna put these all in the sunlight. Set those bad boys out over there. Oh, make sure it's facing where the sun's gonna be shining. It's coming down past noon, so we want them to face that way where the sun's gonna set. All right, now we just gotta grab these two fog lights. These guys do not look very good at all, but I think I can wet sand most of that out. I'm gonna be ordering some new fog lights in the future anyway, some Raxim ones. So these are just temporary. So let that cure out for about an hour and we'll come back and wet sand everything. All right, so now that everything's nice and set up, I'm gonna start wet sanding with 1000 grit and then we can clear coat. So this part of the process just might take a little while. All right, let's try this off and see what we're looking like. Okay. Just let it dry for a second. All right, let me grab a different towel. Dry it off even better, a little faster. Okay, so as you can see, I still need to do quite a bit of wet sanding on these lenses out on the edges. Center of them are starting to look pretty good though. All right guys, so as you can see, I had to go ahead and start over on the fog lights because they came out absolutely horrible. So I sanded those all the way back down to nothing. All right guys, time to polish these parts out. I'm gonna keep this down on minimum. This is why you don't buy your tools at Harbor Freight. What a piece of junk. Oh, there. Oh, whoa. Oh, wow. What speed you want to work at? If it's even going to stay working. Jesus. Oh, my goodness. Oh, what a joke. What a freaking joke. Good thing I bought the warranty. I got to take that thing back when I ever get the car put back together. First, I need that thing to work long enough to be able to put the car back together. Oh, goodness. This is quite the ordeal. My buffer doesn't want to work well enough to be able to get the sanding scratches out, but I mean, it doesn't look terrible. So I think I'm just gonna have to call that good on that one and try to get everything else buffed out well enough to get this stuff back on the car. Because as you guys just witnessed, stupid buffer's a piece of junk. I gotta take it back to Harbor Freight and get one that'll actually work properly so I can get all them little scratch marks out of there. But without the scratch marks, that looks awesome. I know it's got a little bit of spot there, but I'm not sure what's up with that. Maybe it's burnt on the inside, but I mean, for temporary, those aren't gonna look too bad. I don't like that little thing there that I couldn't get off either, but like I say guys, it's just temporary. Hopefully I can make this piece of junk work long enough to get the rest of them done. Just keep getting at it. Just gotta buff that stuff off there really, really well. That way they shine super good. Well guys, as the sun sets on this beautiful Kansas day, the car's back together, and man, I gotta say, it makes the car look so much better in the front end for sure. Them lights being darkened out like that is so awesome. I love it. It looks so good, you guys. Let me know what you think down below. But check out the back here. Let's go around to the back and give you guys a view. I think it looks a lot better too. I mean, they're still red obviously, but just taking that real bright, vibrant red away from them, it really changes it a lot. I think it turned out super awesome. I'm definitely happy with what I did. I mean, I know I said that it's gonna be temporary, but man, it looks so cool right now. Yeah, that's awesome. Not near as bright, but they're still red, so you can still tell I'm hitting my brakes and whatnot. Looks so cool, you guys. Let me know what you think down below. I think it turned out great. Yeah, that is so awesome. Dang. That right there, that's an awesome shot right there. Alright guys, so that's gonna wrap it up for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed what you see today. If you did, smash that like button, leave your thoughts and comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe on your way out, and just like that, catch you guys in the next one.